Hi, this is Frank Warren, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is time for Lights Out, and with me via Zoom, I've got Nathan Gorman. Nathan, good afternoon to you. Happy Saturday, and congratulations on your daughter's christening.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a really good day, to be fair. I've had my daughter's christening this morning. Came back home. Obviously, with what's going on in the world, we couldn't go out or with food and stuff or anything like that. So we had a christening. We came back home and had some food at home and make the most of what we got. Really, so it's been a really good day, to be fair.
I've not spoken to you for, I think the last time I spoke to you was the week of the Dubois fight, and obviously with the current situation, it's very hard to get that access that mainly the media outlets were getting. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you've made of everything so far, and what's your thoughts on us potentially going into another lockdown as of next week.
I know, yeah. I've just speaking of that lockdown, I've just literally gone on Twitter now, and I've read that he's doing an announcement at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. this morning. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says. Hopefully, he doesn't close the gyms or etc. But the thing is, if it's for everyone's benefit, health and stuff, it's not just me, as everyone else is in the same boat. So I suppose what's going to happen is going to happen. But time will tell. Hopefully we don't go into another lockdown, but if we do, there's nothing we can do about it. Obviously, I just got to train and try and do as much as I can around it.
Do you think this potentially affects any of the up and coming boxing shows that
massively. If we go into another lockdown, I'd imagine the sports will stop. I'd imagine. I don't know what the rules or anything's going to be. Like if it was like last time, everything stopped, didn't it? Like sports, everything, all the shows got cancelled. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says at 5 p.m.
Well, as you said, it's for everyone's benefit, and obviously it seemed at one point a couple of months ago we were getting back to some normality. Then a wave has hit us all, but like you said, everyone's benefit.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. As long as everyone's healthy and safe, that's the main thing. That's the main objective, really. But like I said, everyone's in the same boat. It's not just
Nathan. Okay, yeah. So current horrible situation that we might have to go through again. Let's talk a bit about a few weeks ago. You returned back to the ring with Richard Lartey. But just want to talk before the fight. Why was it? As you said, you could have taken a 6-rounder to sort of How comes you put yourself into the deep end straight away?
Well, like you said, I could have easily took a 6 or an 8-rounder against, no respect, someone what comes over to be basically the score, mate. 1 or 2 round jobs make you feel good, confidence booster. But I thought to myself, what's the point in that when the last fight I fought for a British title? Yeah, granted I got beat, but I got beat by a very, very good opponent in Daniel. So I thought, they offered me Richard Lartey. I said, you know what, it'd be a tough fight, but if I beat him well, hopefully he'll put me back in the mix for another good fight. So that was the objective, really. I wanted a good fight, and when they said about Richard Lartey, I thought, yeah, he'd give Daniel probably his toughest test to date. So I thought it'd be a good fight for me to get back, and it was. I got a good 10 rounds out, considering the length of the time I was out of the ring. And obviously what went on beforehand and the weight I put on in between and everything. So it was good for me to get back in the ring against an opponent like Richard and get the rounds on the belt. That was the main thing, to get the rounds.
Yeah, no, like you said, a good 10 rounds.
Definitely.
Getting a bit rid of a bit of ring rust.
100%.
In terms of going forward, have you spoken to Frank of when you're potentially next going to be out?
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Ideally before Christmas. There's nothing confirmed or nothing happened yet, but hopefully before Christmas. I'd love to box before Christmas. But I'm just training him. I was back in the gym. I boxed on the Saturday. I was back in the gym on the Wednesday, so I only had 2-3 days off. Usually I have 2 weeks off, and I enjoyed myself in them 2 weeks, but I ain't doing that no more. I got 2 or 3 days off, straight back in the gym, back on my diet and everything. So been working really hard as well. Preparing for that next date, whether it be before Christmas or after Christmas, considering how things go on in the world, what's happening at the minute. So fingers crossed.
I hear Dave Allen's sort of looking for an opponent tonight. I mean, what's the chances of you perhaps getting yourself down to Wembley?
Yeah, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? But the thing is, obviously, you got to be in a bubble and
Yeah, of
you
course.
got to have your test and everything else. That'd have been a good one. And me and Dave are good friends, but we've always said we'd box each other. You know, for the boxing is just a business. It's nothing personal.
Mhm. But you mentioned Dave Allen. I mean, around that sort of mix, you've got good heavyweight itself, Dave Allen. You know, obviously your cousin Hughie Fury. You know, David Price as well. You know, there's even
There's a lot.
Browne as well that a lot of people, you know, want
Yeah.
to get in the ring with. You know, what I know, obviously you've got to obey orders in terms of who you get in the ring with next. But who is your ideal opponent that you'd like to see yourself in with next?
Truthfully, me and Lucas Brown's had a bit of back and forth talk on the internet and stuff, and he'd be a good fight for me, and I'm sure I'd be a good fight for him. You know, Lucas. I think Lucas scored off a couple of. I don't know if he's rather coming off a couple of wins or his last fight was Dave Allen. One of the two. I think he's had a couple of wins since Dave Allen. I think so. He's got some momentum. I've just had a good win with Larty. So yeah, Lucas Brown, you know, is a very experienced man. He can punch very, very hard. Former world champion, and he's a very, very good fighter. I have nothing but most respect for Lucas. You know, he's done very, very well in his career. That'd be a good fight for me. Be a very good fight for me. You know, if Daniel and Joyce box, and they're boxing for the Commonwealth, British and European. If they vacate the Commonwealth, me and Lucas Brown can fight for the vacant Commonwealth title or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, again, as you mentioned, you know, you expect Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, whatever happens in their next fight, the winner to vacate them belts, you know,
Yeah.
before moving on to European and world level. I know, obviously, in boxing these days, fighters like to take certain routes, but how important is that all British outright to yourself and in terms of the rest of your
Oh,
career?
I'd love it. Love it. I drew for the world. That's my main objective, is to win that British belt. Then obviously proceed from there. But I want to win that British and Commonwealth titles next year for sure.
December 5th, your cousin Tyson is set to return back to the UK. Obviously, we all thought it'd be a third fight with Deontay Wilder, somewhere perhaps maybe in America, maybe even outside of America. That's not happening. There's
Yeah.
talk of Carlos Takam, Ajit Kabayel.
Yeah.
As a fan, who do you want to see Tyson get in the ring with on December 5th?
Yes, so all the names there are really good, credible opponents. The thing is, Tyson's unique. You know what I mean? In my opinion, he's the number one heavyweight in the world. And all them fighters you just mentioned there, Carlos Takam, Ajit Gabayel's unbeaten, former European champion, beat the likes of Chisoras and things like that already. Carlos Takam went 10 rounds anti Joshua. Extremely good fighter. So they're really good competitive fights. So as a fan, I think both of them are really good fights. And, you know, he could have really, if he really wanted to, he didn't have to fight this year if he didn't want to. You know, he could have hung out and wait till next year and got the big one with Joshua or Wilder again. So, fair play to him, really, for getting out again before Christmas.
When you mention Tyson Fury, and of course you look at December the 5th, the question will be asked about why Deontay Wilder never took that third fight. I mean, obviously we've not heard Deontay Wilder's, you know, side to it itself, but it's pretty clear that he's not interested in a third fight with Tyson Fury and that he wants to take another route.
Yeah.
Do you think that Deontay Wilder is going to look to take another route in terms of getting the world title back, or do you think he'd retire? There's rumours that he could retire.
It wouldn't surprise me because, let's be fair, he took a good iron last time, didn't he, with Tyson? Tyson just, from round one, from the first bell, the opening bell, he just annihilated him, really, didn't he? He was so in control from the opening bell onwards. That Tyson Fury is going to be extremely hard. Well, he's not going to be beat, is he? That man won't box wild like that. I imagine he's got everything right at the minute. He's happy. He's got the right team around him. He's training back at home, and what I've seen on his Instagram posts, he's looking very happy. He's looking very fit and looking very strong. So he's going to take some stopping, that's for sure.
Talk to me about tonight's big fight in the heavyweight division, your division. Alexander Usyk versus the tough as old boots, Derek Chisora. You know Derek very well. I know you've done a lot of sparring with him. You know, you've hung out with him in the past. What fight are you getting tonight, and what sort of predictions you give?
It's a really good fight. Usyk obviously is a favourite to win. The thing is, Derek has one way of winning, and that's obviously hitting him and knocking him out. Usyk has 10 different ways of winning. You know, he can go to points, he can outbox him, he can outmaneuver him, he could potentially knock him out. So it's going to be interesting. The thing is, if Derek uses his size 18.5 stone, just runs across the ring with him and piles all that pressure on. But on the other hand, Usyk's not really small. I know he's 15.5 stone, but if a 15.5 stone man hits you on the points with 10-ounce gloves on, it hurts. And it's very, very, it hurts a lot. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, size goes in Derek's favour, but Usyk's very exceptional in my opinion. You know, he's a world class, the best of us cruiserweight, going up to heavyweight. So it's going to be very interesting. If he does a number on Chisora, then I think he'll announce himself as a big threat in world heavyweight boxing. But on the other hand, Chisora could hit him and steam pile. We've seen it before, haven't we? So it's going to be interesting, I think.
You think it's like sort of unfair that nobody's really given Chisora a chance in this fight because we've not seen
definitely
him tested yet in the heavyweight division.
Definitely. Like you said, Usyk hasn't fought a proper heavyweight yet. So Derek's his first man who he's going to fight. And the thing is with Derek, his name is right for him, war, because that's what he's going to bring. He's going to bring war tonight for him. So it's going to be very interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good fight. Right, Nathan, is there anything else you'd like to add before we bring the interview to an end?
No, we're all good, brother.
All right. Okay, excellent. Well, Nathan, as always, thank you for your time.
No problem.
We'll be looking out to hear some news for hopefully the up and coming fight you've got in December. And
God willing, brother.
Bubble.
God willing, mate. Take care.
Nathan, look after yourself. God bless, and thank you.
God bless, man. Take care, brother. Bye bye. Bye bye.